What up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another podcast review video. And then tonight's for Monday Night Raw, before I do my Monday Night Football review video. And yeah, what a really interesting show it was. It's kind of like a Raw Part 2 version of Friday SmackDown this past Friday. And like in And yeah, we got some stuff. We finally got a build-up finally got the start of a build-up, I should say, with the women's War Games match. And we also got some more teasers of who's going to be the fifth member from both the OG bloodline and the new bloodline. And then we also got a very interesting segment, like a storyline segment with Damian Priest. And it's World Heavyweight Championship segment between Priest and Gunther. Even though it kind of looked a little too generic, but I'm going to get to that right in just a second. But I also want to tell you, that we also saw some very good matches, including the main event, which was the women's tag team match, which I was not sure why I assumed that was going to be the opener, even though I didn't mention it on my podcast. But I always thought in my head, it was probably going to be opening the show, and then some other match is going to be the main event. But we also got a build-up to a future title match next week on Raw, which I'm not sure who should win this match. It's something in the corner, but I'm going to talk about it just a moment, at the end of the video or even in the middle of it when I talk about it. But we're going to start things off with we're gonna start things off with everybody coming in the building, including the Judgment Day with Carlito and Raquel Rodriguez, which I don't understand why I just mentioned it being the main character. The members of the faction, but it's where we got the Ring General Gunta, and like I said a little bit earlier, this looked like kind of like a generic pre-taped face-to-face segment, where the heel calls out the baby face, and then we can see and then with the heel assistant comes out and try to trash talk the babyface opponent of their their fellow heel leader counterpart, and then build things up into a match. That's what it was basically like something that looked way too generically predictable, if you ask me. But it's where we got Gunther then welcome himself as the World Heavyweight Champion, and it's where he's and yeah, you already know who I'm here to talk about, and then it's the former World Champion Damian Priest. And then 5 seconds after he mentioned his name, Damian Priest came out. That's where he knew the rules but he was at which he knew both of them knew very well on page 1408, if I'm mistaken. Yeah, this is where then Gunther was okay, now you're here, Damian. And then this is where then Damian Priest you mentioned my name behind my back. So why don't you say something what you were about to say in front of my face right here? And this is where Gunther was maybe that's not a good idea, but he was let's be honest, with that attitude, you are and you will forever will be. And this is where before he can even say any of his insults, this is where Gunther's no. Let me guess. Before what you gonna say about me? Yeah, I'm street trash. Isn't that the correct word? And this where he's and I'm a street thug and I'm a bum, and then my parents didn't even care about me. Parents didn't care about me to the point that raised me right. And I have to scratch and crawl and fight just to get an opportunity here. But you just sat at home and waited for a phone call. Is that correct? That's how you got here, in WWE. There's where Gunther did not answer that. With him, but he answered it right in his head, saying he's telling the truth about me, even though he's saying it in a very much insulting manner. But this is where Damian Priest then continue out any hesitations by saying and then that's how you get your results when it comes to accomplishment. So I'm gonna show you we first time very first he turned the ring and he's and now I see why people fear this unbeatable killer in this instant. This is the first time in my career I actually felt down. I actually thought that he was like, yeah, like, and I thought that I was gonna be the one that actually could defeat you here in the main roster, like after Sami Zayn, of course, is where it's like yeah, like yeah, but it probably was too dumb to be true. But if it wasn't for my so-called brother betraying me 3 months ago, we all know this would have been a totally different ball game. Like that title wouldn't be around your waist right now, Gun. And then this where it's like, yeah, it would still be in my possession. Like, and no, Gun. Like, you know what? Well, you know what the wildest thing about SummerSlam in that match? Like when you were over becoming champion, this vibe of yours, like you're starting to fade, wasn't it? This where Gunther's like, what do you mean? Like, I won a championship. I was in the peak of my main event run here on Raw. And this is where then Damian Priest is like, no, like it doesn't have anything to do with the championship. Like it's all about what's in your mental mind, and that is your mental state is that you were starting to doubt yourself that you couldn't have done this without a little help. And this is where Damian Priest and this is where Gunther then responded back while speaking on the microphone, like, no, that was not what I was thinking when I won the world championship. In fact, it was actually the complete opposite. I had a complete celebration, even though no one didn't got a chance to see it because I did it in private while showing it on camera on TV or even like on social media or anything like that. Is where Damian Priest was like, he was like, yeah, like if that doesn't convince you of you doubting yourself, like you went to Saudi Arabia fight for another championship that's you don't have to defend until in an annual manner, just where which was the Crown Jewel Championship. He's like, and you doubted yourself even more because you got pinned by Cody Rhodes. And the fans like, whoa, like he got you right there, Guns. Like even if you do have his number, like he do have points about it. But this is where Gunther then respond back with a fiery promo right back at him saying like, you, Damien. This is where fans start chanting Cody, like if it was 2022 again, right before he made his long 6-year awaited return to WrestleMania 38, when everybody was wondering who was Seth Rollins' mystery opponent was. It's everybody around the arena, like every town and city and state they were at, touring, like on the road tour. Everybody was chanting Cody, 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 because he left AEW back a couple months ago, and that's the only time I'm mentioning the other company here. But it's where we got Damian Priest like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you can't even talk like that because you're full of doubt in your head, and that's the only thing that's we're worried about. This is where Gunther was like there's nothing doubtful in my DNA, and this is where Damian Priest like, no, like let me speak, like you feel right now that doubt, like it, again. Like you and it's that doubt that you cannot beat me by trying to fill this and what Damian Priest was doing here, but when he started talking into his head, like to Gunther, which was working a little. This is where Damian Priest like if you knew that you're filled with doubt with yourself, if it was otherwise, like if you did not think that you have doubt in yourself, like you would already been a swinger at me by now, but you didn't because you know that I'm telling the truth. And this is where Damian Priest is trying to provoke him, saying, Priest was like, yeah, would you want to take a swing at me right now? Like, if you think that you don't doubt yourself, like, go ahead and do it right now. And besides, the fans don't want us to wait until Survivor Series to have this little showdown. This is where Gunther's like, oh, you want a showdown right here, right now? This is what Damian Priest like yeah, like you're full of wolf. It was like, yeah, you're full of wolf tickets because even if you did take a shot at me anyways, like I would knock you out right on the middle of this floor. And this is where Ludwig Kaiser came out and he did not like what his kayfabe father's opponents. This is where Ludwig Kaiser like, what the hell are you doing here, Damian Priest? It's like the only person that's down in Gunther is you, Priest. Down my things now. Like, do I have to remind you that this man right there that I'm pointing to has beaten you once already? So he has an advantage over you, Priest. And so Priest is like, did that mean anything? Because it's all about winning advantages in this match. Like, it's all about who's gonna have the dedication and determination of taking the Vic and the title, like out of Vancouver. But it's where Ludwig Kaiser then continued by saying, like yeah, this is you're like it's gonna be much worse, like in the second time, like when like in the second round, like when we're the like at SummerSlam, and yeah. and he's gonna beat you once again for the second straight time, and he's gonna show you that you are not worthy for this title no more. This is where we got Gunther took the microphone. He was like, "This is where fans are oh," and this is where they started teasing like a split from these two, with Gunther not liking him speaking for him. Like the only person that has to speak for the ring out is the ring getting it out himself. This is where. And then Gunter's like, look, like, let him talk. Like, I don't even care because at the end of the day, I'm going to be the one victorious anyways. Like, and that's true what you're saying, but I don't need to speak for you. I don't need you to speak for me. This is where Ludwig kind of like, why not? Like, no. Like I'm not going to let that like, this is where then Ludwig kind of like, no, I have to say this because, like, I'm not going to allow the street trash, right, in my right, like, to talk to you the way he is doing, and I won't have it. This is where he didn't try to go right into Damian Priest's face, but this is where Damian Priest did a big right hand to the face. This is where Gunther's like, oh, yeah, you want to do this right now? This is where Damian Priest like, no, you want to do right now. This is where Damian Priest then turned around, hit a clothesline right in the Ludwig counter because he knew Gunther was not going to attack him because Damian Priest was already attacking him with these true words about like he was scared like of Damian Priest right now because he don't have like. Because Finn Balor's not going to be around to interfere in this match. And even if Balor wanted to, and also he was right because Damian Priest did have him at SummerSlam, and that's when it was probably making him afraid right now. But I think despite this, like with Damian Priest, well, even though I liked how Damian Priest cut a promo by saying like, I'm not making excuses, like by saying like I would have had you want to retain my championship was for the meddling kids or my so-called brother Finn Balor. Like, but he just said it in a way that makes sense, like saying, like, but despite I lost, you still had some doubt in you. Like, what if Finn Balor didn't help you out, like, helping you out defeating me for the World Heavyweight Championship? Like that, you all know will still be my belt. But who do you think is going to win that Survivor Series at this World Heavyweight Championship match? Which this was confirmed tonight by the former champ himself. That's now the challenger, and finally getting this rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below. I think despite this strong, what's that? The strong lead up for Priest for the advantage, like onto. That he's gaining like from this rivalry. Like I still think that Gunther's still gonna have it. And he's gonna retain, and he's gonna remain as World Heavyweight Champion until he drops the title to someone like CM Punk or Seth Rollins or even perhaps John Cena. Like if he holds on to that title until Mania, if the rumors be true. But let me know in the comments when Gunther should hold on to the World Heavyweight title. But let's move on to the next slide. We got what's her name? What's her name? Kathy Kelly. Like that was probably was replacing Jackie Redmond tonight, which I reported on my wrestling news video, and I hope we do see her again. But we saw Kathy Kelly doing like a full-time schedule here, like in tonight's Raw. But then she started things off with interviewing Io Sky and Kairi Sane and their 6-woman tag match against Pure Fusion Collective. And this where then we got Kathy Kelly congratulated the duo like yeah, y'all gonna become the number contender to Liv Morgan's women's world. Congratulating Io Sky in the process by saying like you earned yourself a shot at the women's world championship, which I believe this was the sign that we are. This is like a babyface turn for the Genius of the Sky, and she's gonna be the replacement of Rhea Ripley. Like, but that's not all because she's also gonna be scheduled like for a future showdown, like probably at Survivor Series as well. And I don't think it's gonna be for the women's world championship. It's not for the women's world. It's probably for a different reason, but I'm gonna get into that in just a moment. But this is where we got Io Sky. Io Sky's like I'm already. This is where she was like, I'm already ready. Like I just hope that Bianca and Jade are ready for Liv and Raquel. And just like, and this is where the Kairi saying that finish off on her promo saying like, yeah, we got our own beef that we need to squash tonight ourselves. And this is where the Captain Kill's like, I understand, like, this is a 6-woman tag team match tonight against PFC. Again, this is where before she can even ask the question, who's going to be the third member of the of Damage Control, since like the half of the majority is injured, but it seemed like one of the half like came back like from injury from the shelf, and it was none other than the returning Dakota Kai, which I totally forgot to tell you that we saw a very impressive return from the captain of Team Kick and longtime Damage Control member. And it's where she surprised EO and Kairi Sane and even Kathy Kelly with her just shocked-eyed, like right before she can even say anything else. And this is where the Dakota Kai's like, yeah, of course I was going to come back to help my friends. And besides, they took like 3 months out of my career. Like, and as long as I have Damage Control right here, like nothing, and I mean no one is going to keep us down. No matter like who it is, not Zoe, not Shayna, and definitely not Sonya. And then this is where it is like, come on, girls, and we'll prove that tonight. And let's just say that that's exactly what they did. This definitely deserves bronze trophy of the night, of course, of the Wrestling Match of the Night award. I get this, and I also I think this is this is the full face turn, like I guess you could say, of the Damage Control. And I'm not just saying that because of this match right here with them facing the other trio heel, but for other reasons, because I got a little bit of a teaser of a future showdown, like for Survivor Series, like says it all, like why I'm also going to be saying that Damage Control's babyface now. But I'm going to get, but this is where we got, the match. Like, yeah, this match totally was a right here. But before we get into that, like I want to talk what happened backstage, like after the advert went off the air, and Raw went back on the air, like and it was a segment with Kofi and R-Truth would say like, hey, like this is where R-Truth's like, hey dog, and this is where Kofi like, what up, Truth, and this is where Kofi's like, I'm glad I found you because I never got a chance to say thank you for helping me and Woods out there against the Final Testament. And this was like, and I don't know what was in Xavier Woods from stopping me from saving you in that post match beatdown, like at the Final Testament and the what's it called? Final Testament and the Miz, and this is where then Xavier Woods heard this from like a few steps away from him. It's where like, oh hey, what y'all talking about? No, we were talking about like I was just thanking R-Truth for helping us out, like when we were fighting off against the Final Testament, and then this is where he was like, and this is where he started asking questions to Xavier Woods, which Xavier Woods was just shrugging them off. This is where Pete Dunne was like they came in and said like, look, you better not call me that word again. This is where they call me that, and this is where. And this is where then R-Truth's like, oh, like you're talking about that one word I'm not supposed to say, like Pete. And then this word he was like, what word, what name are you called this time? And this is where Pete Dunne's like, all right, I'm getting very sick of your idiotic idiotic comments. And this is where or idiotic questions, I should say. This is where then he tried to attack him, but this is where Kofi Kingston stopped like, whoa, I got a problem. This is where Pete Dunne's like, you want to have him. He was like, and this is where Pete Dunne's like, oh, you want to match us? And this is where then Kofi, this is where Xavier Woods stopped Kofi from getting himself in a situation that maybe he shouldn't have gotten himself in, because it was kind of none of his business. This is where Xavier Woods tried to be the peacemaker and say like, no, we don't have anything to do with this, so leave us out of it. Like, and this is where Pete Dunne was like, oh, now he speaks for you now. And then this is where he told that to Kofi. This is where Xavier was like, as a matter of fact, like, and this is where he's about to say like, yes, I did. And this is where Kofi King's like, no, he does not, because I'm a grown adult, and that is true from a former WWE champion. And this is where Pete Dunne's like, okay, like if. Like, you know what, like Xavier Woods, like, yeah, he's right. Like, maybe you should take some advice from him, because as far as I'm concerned, like, every time like Xavier Woods try to tell you something like that's wise, you decide to do the opposite. This is where Kofi King's like this is where Kofi King's like, all right, like, I have enough of your troublemaking antics. Like, he was like, how about we have you causing trouble in the locker room? Like, how about you and I tonight and have a match? And this is where then Xavier Woods like, no, like what are you doing? Like. This where then he was like I'm just trying to save your life and keep your nose where it belongs and not where it doesn't belong. He's like, you know what? Good luck. And where he said, without Kofi Kingston even paying attention, this is where he's like, see you out there. And this is where And this is where R-Truth then start being more excited than Booker T and the Homeless Man and the Hurricane by saying, like, dog, this is so damn exciting. And this is where he's like you, again, good luck with Pete. Like, and you don't worry about Pete. Like, you don't have to worry about him. It's just the Butch fella. And this is where then he did look like he said something that was horrible, like a cuss word in a church house, or cuss, or like if he just cussed in the church house, I guess you could say. And this is where he's like, "Damn it, like Truth did it again." And this is where Simon Miller probably would say, like, "Yeah," and he definitely did it again. Like if he's Britney Spears, like somebody better call her to say like there's more wrestlers that's starting to turn into her because oops, she did it again. But anyways, yeah. Like with him saying the name, yeah, which I regret saying because maybe Pete Dunne's right around the corner. You never know. He could probably ambush me from behind. The guy just said that word. But luckily, it seemed like he's not here at the moment. But back to the women's tag team match. Yeah, this match shows like WWE actually cares about women's wrestling, unlike the last regime. Because Triple H is a huge investor and enthusiast when it comes to the women, especially if they came from NXT, just like Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler, and even Sonya Deville. But all these women that are involved in this match, they benefit from their time in NXT. Well, I'll say maybe like about 3 or 4 out of the 6, like with them being champion in that brand. But this is where we got Io Sky that go for a handstand flip when when Zoe Stark Irish whipped her right into the left side. She bowed her hand. And where she sent her right to the right side. This is where she goes for a slide duck. But this is where Io Sky dodged out of the clothesline, go for a cartwheel and a backflip. This is where he's like, all right, come and get it, Io. And not Io, Zoe, like our old friend, because considering they were former women's tag team champions and partners in their time in NXT. But this is where Zoe Stark stopped her and hit her with a running attack move. She hit her with like a back suplex, a German suplex combination. But this is where we got Io Sky flip right out of it. Like if she didn't even got attempt to get suplex. This is where she rolled duck out of. Oh no, it was Zoe Stark that rolled duck out of a clothesline that Io Sky tried to plan on to her. This is where it was Zoe Stark to grab onto the former tag partner of hers, back of her hand. Irish whipped her in the left side, then hit her with a body drop. This is where then she landed on her back. This is where she flexed her guns, which she had some huge ones. This is where she like I'm a totally different Zoe than the last time we met. This is where she tags in one of her new teammates for the last few months, and that was Sonya Deville, with her going for a backbreaker, but she sat her up on her knee. This is where we got Sonya Deville goes for a swinging neck breaker onto the Genius of the Sky while we start going, yeah, pure fusion, baby. And then this is where we got Sonya Deville going for a pin, but this is where we got Io Sky kicking out of it. I got 2.2. This is where then Sonya Deville then try to go for a suplex, which she was successful in. This is where then she picks up Io Sky. This is where Sonya started kneeing her right into the midsection. Like, boom, boom, boom. And this is where then she goes for a suplex. This is where then she goes for, but this is where we got Io Sky flipping right out of it. And this is where she pushes her right into her corner. Hit her belly first, right into the upper left corner's turnbuckle. This is where we got, let's see, he hits her with a Japanese uppercut. Tags in her partner, Kairi Sane. Double Irish whip Irish whipped the former women's tag team champion and then gets leg kicked by the former NXT and IWGP women's champion. This is where Kairi Sane then snapmares her right into the middle of the ground. This is where she was like, yeah, it's time, Io. This is where she tags in her. This is where they hit a middle drop kick. Say like forever damage control, which these are probably going to be the forever members. Like with Io Sky and Dakota Kai being the OG members, all thanks to Miss Tropicana $1 Million Bayley. But this is where we got. That's where we got Kairi Sane was back in the shuffle. Like it's the legal woman. She goes for a flying head scissors onto, I believe, was Zoe Stark. And then she sent her right into the corner. She hits a European uppercut strike right onto both women. She hits a forearm strike right onto the face of Sonya Deville. Send her right to the outside. That's where she was planning on going to a flying, insane forearm strike in the ring. But she ended up right off the apron once Sonya Deville rolled right into the right side. Down right in the process. That's where then we got the most powerful force in all of professional wrestling came on the commercial break. But before we got into that is where once we got Kairi Sane trying to grab her, Sonya Deville tried to throw her back in the ring. It's where the referee had his back turned, like once she tried to get in the ring. But this is where Shayna Baszler. Well, first Shayna Baszler looked like she was about to was not about to tackle. She was like, oh, like I was making sure that everything's doing okay and being fair. Just where once she had her back turned, however, along with the referee did so when he was worried about Sonya, Kyrie got dragged back down in the ring. She gets hit with a devastating clothesline right into the ground with her head, back of her head landed right on the concrete floor. That's when we got the advert started to play. That's where, but once the adverts came off the air, that's where we got the heel Pure Fusion Collective got the upper hand onto Kyrie Sane of Damage Control because typical heels love I love doing stuff like this. Is where we got Shayna Baszler. But once Shayna Baszler got the tag, this is where Kairi Sane then escaped and tags in Dakota Kai and setting her target right onto the Queen of Spades because she was the primary member of the Pure Fusion Collective in kayfabe that caused the injury in the first place. But that's where she draped Shayna Baszler right to the right corner side, hits a springboard curb stomp right to the face of the Queen of Spades. But once she tried to go for a pin, Baszler kicks out at 2.7. Dakota Kai's like, I figured that she was going to got that move. Yeah, that move is very irrelevant when it comes to match finishes. And this where she was like, I thought I was trying my luck anyway. This is where she runs right to the left corner side, hits her right foot right into the face. This is where she tried to go for again. But with Shayna Baszler getting up this time, like the stand up. But once Dakota Kai goes for a slide and try to go for a boot to the face, that's where Shayna Baszler move out of the way. This is where she kicks Sonya Deville instead. This is where we got the Queen of Spades, then hits a German suplex. This is where we got the Queen of Spades to go for a single-legged Boston Crab onto the Queen, onto the not the Queen. I mean the captain of Team Kicks. This is where we got. It's always Stark and going for a forearm strike right to the face of Io Sky. This is where she try to block Io Sky's way from getting in the ring and try to prevent her from saving her tag partner and longtime Damage Control teammate Dakota Kai. This is where we got Io's former teammate hit her with a big right hand after she blocked Io's punch. This is where we saw Io Sky try to go for a springboard crossbody. She missed her by an inch and she rolled right into the bottom left corner side. This is where Io Sky finally came in and saved her teammate Dakota with a springboard double axe handle until she gets knee strike right into the. And she gets knee strike right to the face by Sonya Deville. Io Sky then hits her with the insane elbow, insane forearm. This is where we got Zoe Stark came back in the ring from the corner. This is where she goes for a springboard off the top. This is where we got a pump super kick by Dakota Kai because she is the master and the leader of Team Kicks. This is where then we got. This is where we got this is where we got Dakota Kai go for the slide and go for a boot to the face on the Shayna Baszler, but this is where Shayna move out of the way. This is where she try to go for the carry the Fuda clutch, but this is where we got Dakota Kai then try to push her right to the bottom, the upper left corner side where Damage Control is located. This is where Io Sky tags herself. But this ended up being backfired because Shayna Baszler back elbowed her right after seeing or first. I should say Shayna saw this from a distance, and then she back elbowed Io Sky. This is where we got Shayna Baszler going for the carry for the clutch. That's where she tried to bring her right back in the ring. This is where Io Sky to try to counter out of this by trying to go up on the top of the rope. This is where Dakota Kai helped her out with a big right to the face. This is where Io Sky went up right at the top rope after Dakota Kai. So get up there. This is what she did. Hit the Genius Moonsault over the Moonsault, actually it's called, and this is where they got the 1, 2, 3 that way. Winner of this match, Damage Control, and I will give a big congratulations to these three women, which they confirmed their babyface turn. First reason because of this, facing Pure Fusion Collective and trying to get some revenge, which they did, and they also act like baby faces when it comes to making them making a comeback, and them getting beaten up by the heels when the referee was not looking, when the illegal woman like Shayna Baszler did to Kairi Sane. So I guess that now they're confirmed as baby faces, I guess you could say. But let me know in the comments down below about this. And do you think that this would work with them now being baby faces, or do you think they're better heels? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But there's going to be more about Damage Control later on the show. Just keep watching until see what exactly that may be. And yeah, but yeah, also But yeah, I want to say huge congratulations of Shayna Baszler making her long-awaited return. But this is where they show the what's they call a vignette of what happened this past Friday on SmackDown with Sami Zayn wanting Roman Reigns to apologize to Jey Uso, but he only apologized for him wasting his time with Sami Zayn because he's not family and not honorary. He just won solo. But this is where what later on the show, this is where Souls goes I'm the undisputed tribal chief, and besides, even if you do call yourself the tribal chief, you don't have no tribe. You're a chief with no tribe. Like Cody Rhodes told you, about was it a year ago? And this where it seems like it's becoming true. This where it's but tell you what, how about you bring you take 4 of those guys, and you got to find 4 guys to face the 5 of us, and this is where this is where Roman Reigns they show Roman Reigns they're talking about war games, but and besides. It's got aren't there 4 of you guys? And that's where then they put out, they edited the part where instead of counting themselves, they put Soul Skull saying Sami's our 5th member, because the short because on vignettes it's always a short version than when it was originally was. And this where they show Sami Zayn pretended he was gonna join Solo's bloodline in favor but he pretended to do that just to trick him in favor for Roman Reigns and the rest of the OG bloodline members. And this where then Jimmy Uso's this is great that we're all back together, but we need a 5th member Audible. It's called Audible. This is where then Jey Uso was he was for sure, bro. And it's unfortunately, we don't have more friends from Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. So we're just gonna we're just gonna have to find somebody that would help us out here. We just need to find a 5th member. This is where Sami Zayn's hey, I think I might know somebody. That's where then Jimmy Uso was wondering, in question, I'm not sure if it was in a respectful or disrespectful way, but he just said, at him looking suspicious at Sami Zayn on what we thought it was going to be. I think he thought it was going to be the prize fighter, Kevin Owens. Even if it was, I don't think Kevin Owens Kevin Owens would help out Sami Zayn, team align himself with the bloodlines, Roman Reigns and Usos, and plus he has Cody Rhodes to worry about when him trying to finally get some justice that he thinks is from both Orton and Rhodes over SmackDown, and finally win the title that he haven't been in over 7 years, and also. And plus, even if he wasn't in the feud with Cody Rhodes, he'll be I don't think I'm not in. I think this is a completely waste of time. Helping out guys that we do not we never haven't gotten along with from the past years. I'm out of this. And I suggest you do the same, Sammy. But this is not exactly what Sami Zayn was referring to. We're just gonna figure out. That's what Sami Zayn was referring to. He's if I think I know who can help us, and if he does agree to help us, and I'm gonna give y'all both a text. Both who's are we good? And this is where he's yeet, and then this is where Jey Uso's yeah, yeet, and this is where Jey Uso's see, give him a chance. Yeah, he's gonna help us out. But it's where Jimmy Uso was a little bit skeptic first, but we're going to be talking about that later on. But this is where we got Kofi Kingston coming out because he challenged Pete Dunne in the match, which both Xavier Woods and Wade Barrett agreed that this was probably not a smart idea. This was probably not a good idea from Kofi to put himself in a situation that's none of his concerns. But but he's kind of returning the favor to R-Truth, to help him out, since R-Truth helped him out, and then he never got a chance to help him out beat up the Final Testament, even though the Wyatt Six did it. But he's trying to return them the favor, but that's understandable. But I kind of do agree with Woods and Wade Barrett saying maybe it's not a good idea to do it in this manner, with whoever R-Truth having conflicts or beef with backstage, maybe it's best for him to take care of him for himself, rather than rather than getting involved with somebody else. Like, yeah, it's business. But this is where. But oh yeah, I'll talk. Also, we got some very interesting faction versus faction feud. Like which we're finally gonna might see them being in a future match down the line. I don't think they'll in Survivor Series though. But this is where we got. But yeah, anyway, we got the match with Kofi Kingston and Pete Dunne, like with Kofi Kingston, hitting this flippy doodah maneuver, especially the flying axe handle. Once he got sent right to the upper right corner side, that's where he sent Pete Dunne over to the upper right side. This is where it's a backflip, that backflip hands flipping, what's that hand? I mean feet going forward and back, like and doing a backflip like a certain dragon that used to chant the word yes. But this is where then we got Kofi because he no longer works there. But I mean, even if he did still work there, we probably would have seen Pete Dunne would have been doing this maneuver. This is where Kofi Kingston hit a missile drop kick out of dodging Pete Dunne's flip springboard maneuver. This is where he goes for this is where it goes for a missile drop kick. This is where Kofi Kingston go for a cannonball onto Pete Dunne.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, Birdie Bird.
Them the monster eat you?
No, absolutely not. He's safe in here, like in this very safe base, like to do the podcast with. This is where we got Kofi Kingston. Then, well, back in the ring, like once the most powerful force in all of professional wrestling, the commercial break was over, and once the adverts was over, I think it was not in Kofi's favor no more because that's where Pete Dunne started messing with Kofi's fingers, started bending them, right where fingers are not supposed to be bent. That's where he got him into an arm bar, just where he then tried to go for like a different version of it, like a cross arm bar, and then he turned into a reverse one. That's where once he was reversed, when Kofi King tried to escape out of it, he gets kneed right to the arm. That's where then he turned into like an abdominal stretch, where fans start chanting his name, Kofi, like because they still want him to have one more world title run before he does hang up his colorful boots for good. That's why Pete Dunne's like, shut up. The only person that you should be rooting for is me, Mr. Pete Dunne. And that's where they try to go for a splat. But that's where Kofi Kingston did a double foot stomp. That's where Xavier Woods was trying to hype up Kofi Kingston. I'm not sure if he was being serious or he was pretending. I'm not sure. That was a very tough question here. But once we got on the outside, this is where, like when Kofi Kingston nearly had him won, this is where we got. This is where Xavier Woods started stopping him, started arguing him. This is where Xavier Woods like, oh, you're doing I just win the match, and this is where Kofi Kingston's like, I am doing that. Like if you want to stop yelling at me, and I was like, yeah, exactly. Like I think Kofi Kingston got it right now. And he probably would be on his way winning if you weren't distracted by arguing him and saying that you wouldn't have to worry about being in this match if he got involved in other people's business. But it didn't even matter now because he's wrestling in this match. That's where Xavier was like we wouldn't have to do this if you didn't if you kept your nose where it belonged and not getting into other people's concerns. And this is where he was like, and this is where Kofi King's first of all, I understand why you're scolding me right now, after you're rooting for me and cheering me on, if we're still on the same page. And this is where then once he got in the ring, he gets booted right into the face by the bruiserweight. This is where he gets hit with the bitter end. 1, 2, 3. Pete Dunne is your winner. And I'll say nothing too special. I'll say this probably gets the blue ribbon of the night because with them continuing to build things up to a future feud between Kofi and Xavier, with them with Xavier Woods carrying Kofi out of the ring, with them show arm to arm, with them kind of arguing just a little bit, which we hardly heard them going back and forth for the reason why they're arguing at each other, which Kofi was trying to do a favor for with R-Truth, which Xavier Woods thinks that's bogus. If it doesn't concern them, they shouldn't be in it. But this is where they showed when the reason why the women's tag team champions Bianca and Jade's gonna be facing their now challengers Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, it's because they cost them the shot at the women's world championship. This is where then. They showed with with Liv Morgan started acting like if she was still 6 years old, like nah 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 nah, you can't catch me in my bodyguard. This is where Bianca and James like, oh, you want to bet? And they chased him out of the building with Io Sky winning by German suplexing what's it Lyra Valkyria and getting the win that way when they were in Saudi Arabia about a week ago. And this is where we got Raquel Rodriguez like, I can't wait to get my hands on the Jade. And this is where the Liv Morgan's like, me too. And that know-it-all Bianca Belair. This is where the Dirty Dom's like, yeah, you're gonna bring the tag team championships home. And this is where I was like, hopefully, like Dirty Dom's not being a supporter, just like yours truly, that's looking at himself right now, like with him, like yeah. Which I'm not sure what am I saying right now, like, but maybe he's starting to look too much alike, like yours truly, like when it comes to. I'm not sure what to say the rest, but anyways, yeah.